Let's paint the picture, Jeff. They take 2 or 3 against the White Sox start the season. That wouldn't surprise you or me.
They're on party, right?
Yeah. 3 against the Mets. Take 2 or 3. You don't think the Mets are very good?
I think that's a possibility.
But even if they only take 1 or 2, you're 500 team coming into opening day. 2 of 3 or 3 of 3 against the bad A's team.
Yeah, then go to Pittsburgh and sweep them.
And then a huge series, 4-gamer against the Twins. You take 3 of 4. We will be partying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it sets up well.
Absolutely.
It sets up well for them to get off to a hot start.
Here's the other thing, too, that nobody wants to talk about. The Twins got worse. Now, they got a guy, the other caller brought up Byron Buxton. I was listening to a Twins podcast on the way here, actually. Like, for the first time ever, he's actually healthy, and he's a stud. But they lost a pitcher. They've lost payroll. They're not as deep as they were. The Twins are gettable. This is doable. It is. We asked the people to talk us into why the Tigers could win the division, because you and I are not believers, and we're getting a lot of crap for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. The longer this goes on, keep me here another 10 hours. Who knows what happens?
Slowly get persuaded and convinced. We want to be. Like, let's be very clear. We want to be persuaded. Yes. I think it's so much more fun when your baseball team is in the hunt. You remember what those days were like in Detroit, where we were living and dying with every single game at 162.
Soap opera.
The soap opera of the 7th inning, the 8th inning, the closer coming out for the 9th, and you felt it. How silly is it that we would be so emotional about 1 of 162? But that's what it's like when your team's good, when you're in the hunt. I miss that. I want that. I wish that urgency was applied with some of the moves this offseason, but I do hope they're right about the position players they're banking on. I hope that these guys are ahead of schedule, that they do hit the cover off the ball and they end up being a better offense than we give them credit for. That would be incredible for them.
Here's the greatest thing about baseball, at least doing what we do and just being a baseball fan. Greatest thing about baseball is second guessing. It's bitching about the lineup, bitching about the bullpen, losing a game because your closer blew a save, bitching about that. Greatest thing about baseball, because everybody gets into it. Grandmothers get into it. Husbands get into it. Wives get it. It's a Detroit tradition. When the Tigers are good, we bitch about the closer. We bitch about the bullpen. We are unhappy about roster moves and the lineup. We have not been able to do this for a decade. That's what I want back. That's what I miss dearly. I want to go on social media, do a little trolling and say, wow, look at this. McKinstry hits lefties with only a 620 OPS, but you look at Ibanez, he's at 820. Why did we make that move? That's what I want to get back to. And we haven't
because you
had
like
that.
Trolling.
No, but it's not just that. That's the beauty of baseball. It's the ultimate second-guessing sport. So at a minimum, I want them to be good enough to make a little noise in the division so we can have those conversations.
Yeah, I think when we ask people to make the case, and people have, good job on the ticket text. I think there's been a real pushback to our negativity.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. The one thing I don't like is when we say, well, the division's bad. Because we've done this with the Lions before, where we've gone, well, the division's so bad. You still have to graduate. And it didn't happen until recently that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes built a team that was legitimately good. Not, well, the Lions won the North because the North's bad. They won it because they're legitimately a good football team. And that's the difference. It's not enough for the Twins to be bad. I need to see the Tigers be good. And that's why I put a lot on these young bats. And they're putting a lot on these young bats.
You can't compare them. However, they knew. Brad Holmes came out and said, we are winning the NFC North. He said it. We're winning the division. And he made moves accordingly, correct?
Yeah.
The Tigers are, I'm not saying running away from the expectations, but they pretty much said they're not interested in the division. Like, yes, if we win it, cool. With the Lions, it was, we're going to win it. With the Tigers, it's like, well, we got other stuff to do, but if we happen to back our way into it, then we're okay. Yeah, we'll be happy about it.
They would probably not publicly agree with that, but I feel it. I feel what you're saying.
I could read you a couple quotes. I'll dig them up. I'll read them to you next segment if you want. But that's the vibe and the buzz you got, and then you couple it with not doing too much to the offense in the offseason, and that's why you and I feel the way we feel.
Well, I think they tell you we're always trying to win, and I take them at their word. When he fills out the lineup card today, when he makes a decision who to go to in the bullpen, they are trying to win every single game they play. So I don't want this to get twisted by people. They want to win every game they play. But I think the bigger priority this season is not winning the division. It's figuring out what they have with their homegrown talent. And they may be right in the long term to do that, to treat this year as kind of a proving ground or a test tube and figure it out.